Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm your other host, Chanel.
And we are back to talk about Invincible, Season 4, Episode 5, the beginning of the Vultrimite War. We're super excited to talk about this. But before we get into the recap, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. We appreciate all our reviews. You can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/@WeWasWatching, or just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Like our videos, subscribe to our channel, or hit the notification bell so you can see us go live, which we are live right now on YouTube with those listeners just on the podcast. So check us out 1 week as we go live. You can email the show at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us any theories you have about Invincible. We're about to talk about heated rivalry soon. I'm almost done, which Chanel should be surprised about.
Hurry up.
So I'll be done talking. We can talk about that boring ass show in a little bit. And tell us what you expect.
Saying that. You're gonna really regret that.
Tell us what you expect about the final season of The Boys, which also starts very soon. So we're excited to talk about those things as well. So email us at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. And then you can also follow us on social media, wherever you are in social media, Blue Sky, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, all the above, Instagram. Just search for We Was Watching. It will be there. With that said, let's get into the recap.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
So now, what'd you think about the start of the Vultrimite War?
Didn't care for it.
You didn't care for it?
It was too much.
What?
It was too violent. Sorry.
You go watch all these horrible horror movies with violence, and this was too violent for you?
It stressed me out. You're gonna be upset about how I reacted to the second to last scene. You're gonna be genuinely upset when I tell you what I did. But yeah, it stressed me out. A couple quick things at the top. Brandon is always so excited to make the captions. We're missing an Iron Vultrimite, and that's going to drive somebody crazy.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, yeah, I got it.
And then, but it's great on the YouTube. And shout out to people joining us for a right after work stream. That's amazing. I never thought we'd catch people right after as they're clocking out. If you are listening to this live, go ahead and give us a like in YouTube. And if you are not subscribed, do us a quick favor and subscribe, because we are literally 4 away from 500, which is a huge deal. Local host Case, thanks for being here. And then King Goober, thanks for being here too. We will be live streaming our recap of Invincible starting now. We're excited you guys are here.
I think they thought we were just streaming the episode.
Which I if there's a way to do that, you let us know. Is it like you have to do it at 3x? Like, how would you do that without it just getting ripped immediately?
So this is the episode a lot of people were waiting for. You know, the last episode they reviewed, Chanel, was the lowest rated episode of the series for Invincible.
Because it was like a side quest.
It was a side quest, and people were very excited about this, what we saw in this episode. So people were looking forward to this, particularly those who read the comics, and then others who were just, hear other people talking about the comics. They did make some changes. I kind of alluded to it last week. That's why I wasn't afraid to quote unquote, spoil the book to you about like the stuff with Nolan and Debbie. Although that stuff came a little bit later in the timeline, but it didn't happen this way, which led to that stuff happening, which is why I told you, I don't think that's going to happen based on how Debbie reacted to Nolan here. I don't think they're going to go down that route. Something would seriously
I think that would be
change.
Like an unhealthy depiction of her as a woman to do that. Like that, like, you know what I mean? There's no way that's good either. It's because Nolan coerced her, or it's because she changed her whole convictions overnight. Like, I don't think, she didn't fold when he came by, and that's when the sun might actually not be doing me favors. The hardest thing after something like that is the first time you see them and you realize if you're going to be the type to fold or not. And Debbie stood 10 toes.
Well, they made Nolan's apology. We'll get into it. They made Nolan's apology a lot better than what it was in the comic books.
Absolutely.
But she still, was
She
like,
wasn't going for it.
fuck
She
you
wasn't
then.
going.
So let's jump right into it because a lot happened this episode. We start off with right where we picked up from the end of last episode with Mark and Nolan, with Nolan just showing up. And we see I was about to say Adam and Eve. We see Alan and Eve are looking at pictures of his kids, and his kids is growing. I don't know, was it his kids or was his dog kids? Maybe it was his cat. The cat's there got one eye. He's looking at
the dog or something, yeah. And then
his pet kids. And he was like, look how she's growing and stuff like that. And then he was like, ew, does he got two buttholes? And she was like, Alan's like, oh yeah, she's full grown. You're full grown.
Yeah, like the Unopen jokes are abound throughout this episode. Like the things that he is surprised that we understand, and the stuff that he's surprised we don't get or don't know. Like, so the idea that buttholes are developed over time is Unopen, I guess. Yeah.
So then Eve was like, I hope everything's cool up there. And with them, and he was like, look, I think it'll be all right, but I'm wondering too. And she was like, did Nolan really change? And Alan was like, he saved my life, dog. Saved my fucking life. Well, I saved his too, but still. And he's trying to fight his people. So, I mean, he hasn't proved me wrong yet. And so then they cut up to Alan they cut up to Mark and Nolan up in the sky talking. And we are to assume that Nolan was up there telling him about the history and everything, because the first thing Mark says is like, so y'all came to Earth to breed us? And he was like, there was only 50 of us left. Fuck y'all want me to do? Just die out? Like, we had to do something. Y'all was very compatible with us. And
They're very big on the ends justify the means.
And he was like, all right, that's fine. And you claim to change. That don't mean I gotta come save you. Like, I don't gotta go fight this war. Like, fuck that shit mean. And he was like, you're right, Mark. That's true. You don't. But, their people are bad. The Vultrimites are out to come in here. They are desperate. They're going to come here, and next time they come, they're not going to be as nice, and there's going to be more of them. And Mark was like, yeah, so it's just going to be us fighting? And I got some clips this episode, Chanel.
Yay.
So this was Nolan's response to Mark asking if it's just them that's going to fight or not.
I got a coalition of the willing. I got 40 nations ready to roll, son.
Like who?
Who said that? Huh? Like who? England. Japan's sending PlayStations. Stankonia said they're willing to drop bombs over Baghdad. Rickety Row is coming. Africa, Bambaataa, and the Zulu Nation. That means I am not doing this by myself.
I got that straight from the episode,
We're getting ripped. If you're listening to this clip in 3 weeks and you don't hear any audio, that was a clip from Chappelle's show when
what are you talking about?
President.
That is not from Chappelle's show. That's what Nolan said.
Okay, that was a clip. I'm genuinely saying this because that's gonna be segmented out once Warner Brothers catches up to that. So that was Chappelle's show, and it was when he was the president and said he had a coalition of the willing. That's the clip. Go find it. Brandon played the full clip, so it's definitely getting flagged.
That's not the full clip. The full clip's 6 minutes. That was like 15 seconds. And chat, jump in. Was that not what Nolan said? That's what he said. That's what he got.
Anyway.
So
yeah, I just want to say to Angela Taylor, welcome to the chat. We're spoiler free because I haven't seen everything. So be careful whatever you share. That is someone who hasn't read the comics wouldn't know, especially if it's coming in 2 weeks. That's all I ask.
Well, I mean, I know what's coming, but I won't tell you.
He wants to talk about episode 7, and I'm like, not me, not yet.
So Mark said, so many fucking people died, dog. Like, what are you talking about? Chicago, Thraxon. You were just running through motherfuckers. You lied to me. You lied to mom. You said, fuck Oliver.
You lied about your surgery.
All of that. That's right. And Nolan was like, I know. He's like, I know. But I'm trying to be better right now. Okay? It's a new me. I went to therapy, dog. Like, I'm not the same person that I was last time we talked. All right? I'm more mature now. And he was like, look, I get it. You can say no. Like, I ain't gonna hold that against you. You can say no. And Mark was like, can I really say no, dog? Because if I say no, they're gonna end up here on my doorstep, right? So I can't really say no. So he was like, all right, can we leave tomorrow morning? So I got some shit I gotta take care of tonight. He was like, of course. And then Mark flies away, and then he goes, oh, before you go, one more thing. And then we jump ahead a few minutes, and we realize that he want to talk to Debbie. And Alan was like, you got some balls on you, dog, to go talk to that woman. Like, I couldn't do it. And Nolan was like,
but to be fair, he needs to try.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta face the music, even if you don't get the response that you want. That is the right thing to do.
That's the whole reason why you have to face the music. Yeah, like if you're facing the music, it shouldn't be to get the response you want because you've already messed it up. The face the music is to acknowledge that you messed it up, and both people grow from that process.
And he says, Alan, don't you got somewhere to be, dog? Like, get the fuck up out of here. He's like, yeah, I gotta go find Tech Jacket. I'll be back. And then Nolan says,
and Tech Jacket is the one who what people was that? There was another people on another planet who were like, hey, we have an agent embedded in Earth. Go find them and they'll help the cause.
Well, no, Alan knew about Tech Jacket. She's just a hero on Earth. She's not.
Wait, but wasn't there a group that was like, we have somebody?
That's who they were talking about, Tech Jacket. That's why they came to Earth, to get Tech Jacket and Mark.
Right, but somebody told them, but she's a part of something else. Like, she's like not from Earth.
No, she's from Earth. In fact, in the comic book, she's gender swapped. No, she's from Earth.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Who would? Okay, so was there a group that said we have an agent on Earth?
No, you're mistaken. That was something else.
Yes, Alan. Find it.
So then they go get Tech Jacket. Oh, Nolan said I owe her an apology. Mark said, is that apology for you or for her? And so then we see later that evening when Debbie got home, Nolan walks up to ring the doorbell. And he starts to walk off, but because she ain't come to the door right away. But then she comes to the door and she opens it. And Nolan then makes his, Nolan goes in to make his apology. I don't think I have the apology for Nolan. I think I did, actually. Yeah, I got this clip because this is a good clip. I thought this was really cool. One of the best clips they've done all season.
Mark said coming to see you was selfish. And I think he was right. Do you want me to go? Okay. I did the unspeakable to you and Mark. And then I did it again on Thraxa.
Somebody should make this into a song. This should be like one of them begging songs. Like, can you get like AI keep Sweat to sing this?
No, thank you. Don't do that. Don't make AI music, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't like AI music. That's why I'm saying get AI Keith Sweat to sing this.
Leaving you and him and Oliver to pick up the pieces. Words can't make up for something like that. But when Mark first got his powers, I was terrified because I knew it meant everything would change. My life with you would change.
You hear that emotion in his voice? Do you hear it? You hear it pouring out?
It's giving. It's definitely giving begging in the 90s.
And I didn't want that to happen. But I had a mission to fulfill, a duty to the Vultrim Empire. And it should have been easy. Except I wasn't really a Vultrimite anymore. I'm almost 1,000 years old. But 20 years with you, 20 years with you made me human.
Look at that bar, Chanel. I'm 1,000 years old, baby. But 20 years with you made me human. You wouldn't have melted from that one? That one wouldn't have got you?
Fuck out of here.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He killed a bunch of people and then told her she was nothing more than a pet to him. It's extremely difficult to come back from that, in my opinion. Like real hard.
No, forgiveness is earned, not asked for. So I'm not asking for it. But Debbie, I am sorry. I am sorry for the pain, the tears, the anger, the sorrow that I put you through. I am sorry for what I did to Mark, for what I did to everyone in Chicago. The Guardians, all the Thraxans, for abandoning Oliver. I am sorry for all of it, and I regret every moment. And I promise you, and Mark, and Oliver, that I will spend the rest of my life trying to repair the damage I did.
Good apology. It's not a bad apology.
No, that was a great apology. I mean, I don't know that it, like there's some stuff you can't take back truly. Like, you can't bring those people's lives back. You can't take back like the terror and the stuff that Mark went through. But I do think apologies are important just as apologies do matter still at the end of the day. But yeah, he's not, I don't think he comes back from anything, but I think it still doesn't mean that it wasn't a worthwhile thing to do, to apologize. That it doesn't take away from that.
But Debbie, my girl Debbie she was not trying to hear that shit.
At all, whatsoever.
Repair the damage. You still think you can do anything, don't you? Fix all your problems with your superpowers. This can't be fixed, Nolan. There's no way back from where you are. You murdered people. You extinguished families. You spread misery to the people who loved you most. How many people can't sleep at night because every time they close their eyes, they see you? I know what that feels like because I'm one of them. And now you show up here with some bullshit apology about to take my son to a war 1,000,000 miles away where he could die, and you think you can repair this?
It's a good point. It's an excellent point, Debbie. I'm with you. I'm Team Debbie. Okay? I'm Team Debbie. So,
I mean, everyone's Team Debbie. Like,
I don't know if everyone's Team Debbie. I don't know if everyone's Team Debbie.
I think that, to be fair, I do think we always have to question how patriarchy is ingrained in us, because there's something about Puritanism and patriarchy where when a white man apologizes, we feel like, oh, guys, he humbled himself. We gotta let it go. Like, it's hard to kind of like have long-term accountability in something like this. So I do think there's something like validating to see her stand up for herself. Also, not to mention the thing between their divorce, like they were married for years. Like, there's a lot that she might feel. There's a lot of ties that might bind her, and she breaks through them, and I'm very proud of her. So I like Debbie way more than I would have in the comic books, for sure.
I give Nolan credit for this. Apologies are not entitled to forgiveness, right? So often people think, I apologize, now you forgive me. And he made it clear. He said, forgiveness is earned. You're not going to get that from this apology. So like, if I ever get the forgiveness, it will be earned down the road. I'm not expecting that right now.
For sure.
In real life, you don't hear that.
Do the work.
Yeah, you don't hear that from a lot of people. I think a lot of people would be in the world where people complain about getting canceled or not given a second chance, things like that. Mm-hmm. It's often because they are expecting the forgiveness instantly. Oh, you admitted you was wrong? Okay, you forgive me? Okay, I'm good. And you don't get it instantly, and you think, what was the point? Whereas, I still believe that, people can come back from a whole bunch of things if you truly show it. I think people
we've seen it. RDJ
will get a chance. So if you really put the work in and try, eventually I think you will get that forgiveness if you earned it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think we're touching on, this is why I like doing animated shows, because there's like a very fantastical premise to this that still is grounded in relationships, and why the writing still has to be good, and you can't really, and that's why I like the adaptations, because I think putting them into a show just gives me so much depth. And I know comic books are dope, but personally, I think that apologies need to be contrite and real. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Bonaton, is that what it says?
Mm-hmm.
Bonatime, welcome to the chat. Nolan killed so many people who can't get a second chance.
Excellent
Exactly.
point.
Like, don't get me wrong though. I do think that he can have a okay. I'm just gonna say, like, say you have a parent who murders someone. A lot of people have one because there's a lot of people who've murdered people. There's a lot of people who've had kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's not it's wild and out there as we think. I think it's about the person understanding the impact of their actions, and that is what's most important. Them not repeating it, and you not letting your relationship with them allow them to repeat it without any consequences. So, like, at the end of the day, do I think Omni-Man's going to turn around and ever do this again? No. I think it would be ultimately very not funny. It wouldn't be funny, but it would be kind of crazy if he did do this again. Like, if he went through this whole, just tell me right now, does this end at Omni-Man turning on them again and be like, just kidding, I got y'all? Okay, great. But can you imagine if you did read the whole series and at the end he was like, I'm fucking around, about to kill all y'all? Like, that would be fool me once, don't fool me twice, can't get fooled again. That's what that situation is. Wait, do you have that? Don't you have that?
I do have that.
Okay. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
That's my favorite. My favorite thing I've ever heard. Thank you. Yeah,
also, but to Bonachan's point, there's some things that people do that no matter how much you apologize for, you can't come back, right?
Exactly. And so it's about the person. It's about the person, and like, it really is about if they've experienced forgiveness, if they've healed, if they see the value in forgiveness, if like it's both people. And I think like Omni-Man as a like everyone in history who has done something that has terrorized people has been loved by someone. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just complicated. So I think that, again, it's about like a form of love is honesty and accountability. And so this was the best possible reaction to him, and it was the most human response to be like, because Debbie could have easily been like, you know what, because if Debbie doesn't believe he's changed, then the chance of him coming back to kill her is also very real. And she doesn't care about that. She's speaking up for herself. So anyway, I thought it was a very powerful scene that it's a lot. Debbie goes through a lot before she has that moment of reckoning with him.
What do you want, Nolan?
I wanted to say that I was sorry.
You said that. You're still here.
Debbie, I had to see you again.
Fuck you. 2 months after you
Just
left,
like,
you had
like
Oliver with Andressa.
Andressa was a mistake.
I've never been mad at anybody enough to say fuck you like that. I want to feel that one day. Like, I want to just have a visceral fuck you to someone.
You don't want to feel that. You maybe want to feel that about TV. You don't want to feel that in real life. With that said, though, I was so worried that Oliver would be like on the stairs hearing this. Like, because whenever you fight about a kid, that kid always somehow wakes up out of bed at the exact moment he hears it. And so I did eventually, this is going to come up later, but I was like, wait a minute. He not going up to Oliver's room? What the hell? Like, I was so, that upset me as someone's child. I'm like, that's fucked up. But yeah, the idea of like, you wouldn't have this baby with somebody else, so like, you clearly were still on that I'm a pet and humans are beneath you type stuff, because you didn't think about me at all before you bred again. And he basically tries to call Oliver a mistake, and I think that may be a reality for you, but you cannot say that once the child is here. Once the child is here, you just got to call him a blessing and call it a day.
I didn't know what I was doing. I love you, not her.
Do you realize how you sound? You think that telling me you didn't love Oliver's mother is supposed to make me feel better? It just makes me hate you more.
That's true, though, because if I'm going to say this. I've been cheated on, and that person is still to this day with that other person, as far as I know. That's the only way to do it. If it's like, clearly y'all were meant to be together and I was the fly in the ointment, what can I say about that? I was in the way of fate. If you cheat on me just to like not stay with that person, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Miss me?
Like, let that be your soulmate. Yeah, anyway.
Miss me? You know what? I missed you. But you killed the man I loved. You killed him. Ah!
And she started domestic
I know that
abusing
hurt.
Nolan.
Or Omni-Man, yeah. But what she's doing is she's punching against him, knowing that it won't hurt him.
I know. I was
But
just
it's symbolic. No. I'm just saying, like, but it's symbolic about her wanting to show him that's how angry she is and that's how much he's hurt her. So, like, I think there's something to be said about telling someone, you know, I can't sleep at night because blah blah blah, and they might feel bad in the moment, but there's something extremely powerful, I think, about, like, it's hurting me to punch you. You're not feeling it, but you understanding how much you hurt me, that I'm hurting myself right now in front of you to get you to understand it.
So then, I got the rest of the scene. Sorry.
Debbie.
That was a good scream.
I loved you. We had everything, and now it's all gone.
Debbie, stop. Let me see it.
She need to win for best scream. I'm sorry, that was good.
Just let me.
It was very visceral. It was a visceral scream.
Visceral as hell. It was like, we don't get. I know that, like, you know, we're doing amazing things in animation, but that was like, I basically felt like that was a real person doing that on screen. Like, that might as well have been Sandra Oh in real life. Well, it was, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it felt. We're doing amazing things with animation these days, guys.
Am I still your pet?
Great question.
You never were.
If I was supposed to change you, I failed. You're not one of us. You're not human. You're barely a bad photocopy. You got to say what you wanted to say. Now get the fuck out of my house and never come back.
Period. Mama Bear vibes.
She told him.
She got her get back. I mean, I think it can be hard, right? Because when you don't know, this is why people overthink and they plan stuff out. Because if you don't know when you're going to see your ex, if you're not prepared with your speech, you'll be mad. You'll be kicking yourself forever. Like, dang, I had my chance to eat him up and I didn't do it. And she absolutely rose to the occasion on this one.
So he leaves and then she leaves and they kind of linger on the house being empty symbolically. And then we cut.
And again, I'm like, damn, Oliver didn't see his daddy.
Then we cut to Tech Jacket and she's fighting some electric dude with powers. She beats his ass and they start clapping for her. She's like, all right, that's enough. That's enough. And they stop. And she's like, actually, give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more of that.
Yeah, they were confused. They're like, what's on her? She's Oliver's age, right?
Yes. So in the comic book, she was a male. So they switched the character to a female in this show. And I'm curious if they did that to make her Oliver's love interest, which is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Oliver needs some motion. My boy is just, all he's doing is eating cereal, playing his DS, and fighting crime. Like, he deserves, you know what I mean? Do he even go to school?
He goes to school. By the way, I thought after Nolan left that Debbie was going to do this.
Oh, you cut off James. I forgot you cut off the damn James. Yeah, I think it was a very symbolic, very meaningful, very good wrap up. Those are the type of confrontations that you wait for in real life and in shows, just to see like how they go down. And I think that was very satisfying in many ways.
Tech Jacket got a call from her daddy to come back to the secret base. She get back there and Alan the alien is there. And Alan basically,
her daddy's like a normal guy who's like her handler.
Yeah, he's her man in the chair. That's what they call it, man in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And so he pitches them on coming and fighting the Vultrimite war. And her daddy was like, so basically, if we don't do this, like they're gonna come to Earth and kill everybody. And she was like, I'm down. And Alan was like, you seem real like supportive of your daughter. Like it's not what I expected. He was like, no, I love my daughter. I trust her. And she want to go say the word, I'm a backer on that. I was like, look at this non-toxicness. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do
I
it.
mean, he's also like, this is also the epitome of like, I can't do shit about this. So who am I to tell her she can't do it either?
So they agree. We cut back to Mark and Debbie. Oh no, they hug each other, and then Alan was like, "Oh, let me get in on that," and they get a group hug. So then we cut back to Mark and Debbie, and Debbie's drinking her wine, and she's worried about Mark, and she's like, he's like, Nolan stole everything from me. Now he's trying to steal my son too. And Mark was like, "Look, I know he's a piece of shit, but that's not what this is about. It's about protecting Earth. Like, if we don't do this, the planet is going to go bye-bye." She's like, "I get it. I'm just a little upset, obviously." And she goes,
I mean, she's handling it well because this man really has taken everything out of her. Welcome back to the chat, George Pelopar. And okay, sorry. Before we move on from Debbie, Bonneton says that Paul is much better than Nolan for the perfect being for Debbie. Agreed. And a son's love changed Nolan's way of thinking, and that's how he became good. He thinks if he returns to Earth, everyone will forgive him. Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that Nolan has changed, but that's not the same thing as him being ready to live the same life again or ever being able to.
Mark looks down to see her hand wrapped. Was like, "What happened?" She was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It was worth it though." It was worth it though. So then Oliver comes in. It's like, "Why the fuck is y'all sitting in the dark?"
He's like, "What happened? Who been here?" He's like, "Smell different. Who been in the house? Why it smell like Marlboros and teak wood?"
And so we get a bit of a time jump, and we are to assume that
that's what I think would be his smell, his signature smell. By the way,
what was it?
Marlboros and teak wood.
Teak wood. What the fuck is that?
Is that not a thing?
I don't know what that is.
Teak
So
wood.
then we get
it's real. It's okay. It's like a manly candle smell.
We get a bit of a time jump, and
somebody comment right now if you understand and agree that he would smell like Marlboro cigarettes and teakwood candles. If it please, because Brandon
I'm a candle guy. I'm a candle guy, should know.
Teakwood is like a manly candle smell.
In my office, I got this candle.
And what's that flavor?
I got this candle. I got like
what's
5
that
candles in
flavor
here.
Called? Can you announce what they're called? What they are?
This is sea salt something. Masculine, spicy, fresh. What it says. Something with sea salt.
It's teakwood in there probably.
So we get a bit of a time jump. And we're to assume that they basically explained that Nolan was here and he wanted to apologize to his mom and he wants us to go fight in this war, blah blah blah. And I got Oliver's response to that because it was really heartbreaking.
Kids, I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was, and I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
That's what Oliver said.
Okay. This is a super duper deep cut. This is very personal. Me and one of my best friends, we would talk about like dating men and then not working out. We would reenact this scene and laugh about it. Like, how come he don't want me, man? Like whenever a man would text us back, and it became one of the funniest things as a way to like make fun of things going south. So whenever people play that clip, I know it's very dead ass and very serious, and I just laugh.
That's what Oliver said, man. How come he don't want me? He couldn't even come upstairs and say hello. Like, what the fuck? But it looks like Oliver wasn't there. So, because he walked through the door at this point. So he must have been out doing some shit.
No, Oliver was literally outside playing hopscotch and they fucked around. And
in his superhero suit?
Yeah. That's what he'd be doing. I think what I'm more upset about in this instance, though, is like, it's both. Like, Nolan didn't ask about him, and he has his reason, his excuse later, but like, he didn't even try. And that would really hurt. Like, it would be very hard for me to get past that.
So he's basically like, you not finna leave without me. And he was like, they both said at the same time, no, you ain't coming. He was like, the fuck I ain't. He was like, I already lost one mama that I couldn't protect. I'm not about to lose my second mama. And ain't nothing you can do to stop me from fucking going. So you might as well accept it. And Debbie was like, all right. She's like, y'all look after each other. I'm not about to lose my babies right now after all this bullshit. And they all hug. And she was like, there's one more thing I want to do before y'all dip. and they have a nice family meal with Paul and Debbie
It's really cute.
and Eve and Mark and Oliver. And they had a good time and some laughs and had some good food, and it was very wholesome. So then we cut to Nolan. He went to go talk to his old buddy Art. He had a 6-pack of beer, and they go up on the roof and they're talking about different shit. And then Nolan was like, "So tell me about Paul." He's like, "I don't know too much about Paul, but I want to make sure he's a good dude for Debbie." And so Art's like, "You sure you want to know about Paul?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Paul's a good dude. He's down to earth. He let the boys love him. Like, he's good. They happy." And Nolan was basically like, "Good. I'm happy about that." And then he was like, "But hey, dog, while I'm here on Earth, you see I'm walking around here with no shoes on, barefoot and shit. Like, can you hook your boy up with a new suit? Like, can I get a new suit?" And
he's like, no. He said, nah.
He's
What's
like,
that from?
I don't know. Where's that from?
He said,
we do a podcast.
He's sewing. Okay, he said, and then he mimed from sewing, and then he went and put a jacket on and then took it off, and he said, nah.
I don't know.
There's no way you don't remember what that's from.
I don't know what that's from.
That's upsetting. Okay, that's fine. We don't have to explain it.
So he then he was like, it's just one thing though. I got this one rule. I got one rule for superhero costume making. I don't need you to do costumes for heroes, dog. And you kind of kill hundreds of people.
He's like, you're not even an anti-hero at this point. You are actually a villain. Sorry, buddy.
And Nolan was like, all right then, peace. And he takes off. And then Art was like, thank God. Because he was scared the whole time that motherfucker was going to fuck him up. But he didn't. And because, Nolan's changed. So he leaves. So then the next morning, that night we see Eve and Mark in bed. They both naked, like they just got done fucking. Well, I guess you would if you're going away. I mean, if you're about to go away to try to save the world, I guess you would. And so
it's extremely safe to still be having intercourse at this point in her pregnancy, so she's good.
Who don't know that? Is that a thing that people don't know?
Oh my God, people are so ignorant about it. I guess people don't know maybe as things get further along. Like I'm pretty sure you could pretty much continue to have intercourse at almost all points of being pregnant.
So then Eve was like, "Hey dog, you remember how we met?" And Mark recalls how they met. And he was like, "Yeah, man, that was so long ago. Now Robot gone, Amanda gone. They in some other universe. Rex dead. Like, I can't lose you too." And Mark was
That's
like,
crazy.
"The power of love will prevail." And she was like, "I'm glad you think our love's so strong, but no, I'm serious." He was like, "No, we good." He's like, "By the way, you said you wanted to talk to me yesterday. You was dead serious. Like, what the fuck you want to talk about?" And she was like, "I'm good. It ain't worth it." And he was like, "No, you seem like it was really important." And she was like, "Nothing's as important now that you're leaving, so I'm good." He was like, "All right then, let's go to sleep." And then they hug each other and go to sleep.
Yeah, I guess she just didn't want him to have this on his mind or depression, because I do think that the truth is he's making decisions feeling like there's just something that happens to you mentally when you have a child coming. So he's making decisions for all mankind and all humankind right now, but he also would maybe hesitate more knowing there's a baby, which is funny because it would just be technically one other person on Earth, right? He's already fighting for all of Earth, but I think that would make him be more timid and more I don't know if he would go after Conquest the way he does if he knew it. I could be wrong though. That's just my theory.
No, that's fair. So the next morning they get up and everybody's saying their goodbyes and shit, hugging and kissing, be safe, and they leave. And they get on the spaceship and Oliver runs up on Nolan. He was like, "Fuck you. You were going to leave without speaking to me?" He was like, "You left me before. You left me again this whole time. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you." And storms off. And then Nolan was like, "The fuck was that? Why is he even here?" To Mark. And Mark was like, "Hey dog, he old enough to make his own decisions. Like he wasn't about to let us fucking do this shit without him." He was like, "By the way," and Nolan was like, "I was trying to spare him." And Mark was like, "From what? You said this war was to save the world." He was like, "I wasn't talking about the war.
I'm here."
He said, I wasn't talking about
He's
the
like,
war.
literally, I'm here. Like, I'm your other child. Like, so what do you mean? That's that eldest shit that'll piss you off.
He said, I wasn't talking about the war. I was talking about from me. I didn't want to fuck his head up anymore. And because, you know, that's what I played the clip. That's what happened on Fresh Prince. Will dad showed up and started acting all daddy and shit. And Will was like, that's my dog. I'm about to go back with my daddy. And then he rolled up and that motherfucker just dipped the fuck out on him.
With that said, though, I will say, I think it's important to keep in mind that doesn't really help anyone. Like, if you say if you say to the person intentionally, hey, I'm actively working on XYZ through therapy or through a support group or through reading a book and doing a course, self-study, like whatever, I'm in a help group, whatever. I will be back in like a week, a month, soon. But if you need me, call me. That's never what anyone does. What they do is, oh man, I'm just a piece of shit and I won't be around you at all, which does not heal the wound. Like a lot of this is therapy talk, but a lot of people say like relationships get stronger by being able to trust that there will be repair, meaning like you can't avoid conflict, but when people show you that they're willing to come back to the table and talk through a conflict and work through stuff, that's what actually makes a relationship stronger, not the fact that the fight wasn't that bad, if you will. So anyway, I think for any men who have that idea of like, oh, just leaving and coming back later as the answer, it's not. And you feel like a piece of shit every day that you're avoidant and leaving, they feel worse. It's just better to let them. And again, like the last thing I'll say is that avoidance in real life is like a form of fearing intimacy, which is obvious, but like it's because being honest and transparent is actually very scary for you. But the truth is that it will most likely unlock all the things that you're sad about and missing when you actually like let your feelings in or talk about your inadequacies and give the other person agency to support you or to choose not to be in a relationship with you, but at least you're giving them that choice.
So then he's like, listen, that man wear that O on his chest, not because his name Oliver. He adored you. You got a chance to make that shit up right now. Don't fucking spoil it. And he walks off. And then they get back to the pilot of the spaceship trying to get his ship back from Alan's wife. And she was like, no. How about no? And then
because he really fucked it up. Like he really was the worst.
So then we get back. They're starting to fly away, and Tech Jack is like, "Hey, dog, my suit is going crazy. Like, you picking anything up on your system?" She's like, "No, everything's great." Boom! The ship gets fucked up. It's Vultrimites. It's like 4 of them.
Wow! Can you clip you saying "boom"?
Yeah. Why?
I really enjoyed that. Boom.
And then
you storyteller. I can't wait till you have kids so you could tell them, oh, and then he said, rah. I just think that would be.
That's how you gotta do it. Then they get out.
Exactly. It's very cute.
They get outside and there's some Vultrimites there. And they start fighting and this Conquest shows up. Mark's like, what the fuck? We killed you. The fuck you doing here? Now this is different. In the books, when this happens, in the book, there's everything is pretty much exactly how it happened in the books. But while they're fighting, they're talking shit to each other. And Mark is like he wants to know, like, why the fuck you're here? And Conquest says something to the extent of like, Cecil did this shit. Like, your old buddy Cecil kept me.
And Goggins.
Yeah, but they didn't do that here. He didn't tell him that. So I don't think he knows that Cecil kept him. Maybe he'll just infer that. But like,
because he will infer that, because where the hell else was he gonna be? Like, what was he, dead in the ground? Like, he knows Cecil and them came to clean it up. So like, Cecil would have told him like, hey, Conquest got away. So clearly he knows he unless Cecil can cover it up by saying, oh man, he broke out. Are you okay? Hey, just wanted to call you and tell you to watch out. Conquest might be coming for you. Unless he covers his tracks after the fact, Mark will figure it out, I think.
But or
he might, by the time he gets back, by the way, he might have had bigger fish to fry, and it might be whatever. Like, I'm sure that's like a thing Mark has done, like held on to his anger with Cecil and come back and argued about it. But this might be too big of a thing for him to even freaking hold on to.
Everybody's
actually, It's a big deal.
Everybody's holding their own, except Oliver is about to get his head squished by Conquest till Nolan came and saved him. But then they start getting the upper hand. Oliver, Alan, Tech Jacket, Mark, and Nolan. And then the Vultures were like, haha, you thought I had us. And then they had an army come out. And Oliver, because he's not used to fighting in space and he's not like Nolan and Mark, he can't hold his breath any longer. So Nolan was like, you need air? Go down there. So he run down there to the planet. So he flies down to the planet. And Conquest, because he's an asshole, he's like, oh, we can't let your brother get away, can we? So he pushes Mark and he goes after him. And they have this great scene of him catching up to Oliver, and he's like right behind him. He's so fucking gigantic, like he's about to just crush this motherfucker. And then Mark comes out of nowhere, smashes him. And
yeah, not to mention he had early, because Brandon skipped, like, it's a long fight scene. And like there's a moment, if we don't even have time or notes to go through beat by beat, but there's a moment when Conquest like has Oliver's head and just starts smashing it, and like there's just blood coming out of his ears and his nose. Like he's so much bigger than Oliver, so much stronger than Oliver. Like there's very much he's very much in danger this whole time, and it does kind of make you realize that it was potentially maybe not super wise for Oliver to go in this fight, because it seems like he can't. I don't know how he actually stacks up, even though he is half Vultrimite. I don't know that I think humans really are like the next best specimen to match with, because and Oliver's also not full grown. He's still a kid. But anyway, it stressed me out because Conquest is clearly very strong, and he almost killed Oliver flat out like a couple times. Like light work.
So on this planet, Mark and Conquest are going at it, and they're having a real battle all over the planet. And so they crash into this one spot, and Mark gets on top of him. He's punching him, and he starts choking him. And Mark is choking him. He's like, I'm not going to fucking let go. You're going to fucking die here. And he's choking him, and he's choking him. And Conquest gets up and takes off and flies away and flips over and slams Mark on the ground. But Mark is still choking him. And he starts punching Mark, and Mark is still choking him. He gets up and slams him against a rock, and Mark is still choking him. Then he takes his hand and punches a hole right through Mark's chest, stomach.
Buddy.
Chanel was not ready for that.
What the hell? Because first of all, yeah. Oh, do you have the text I sent you? Because first of all, my thing is this: he's choking him out. I would hope his capacity would be somewhat diminished. Like I know he's struggling, but he still has full power and go. Like he karate chops him, like Brandon says, and just goes straight through his hand. And that's when I texted Brandon and said, "Do you see it?"
Yeah, she said, this nigga just put his hand through Mark's guts.
Question mark. I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I know he's not about to kill him, but then we see Mark is still holding him. He's getting a little bit blue, getting a little bit purple and gray. Like he's asphyxiating a little bit. But while he's doing that, Conquest is literally grabbing his intestines and just unroping them bitches. He's just pulling him down like he's at the gym doing the chain thing. He's just like unroping them.
It's straight out of the comic.
You know, to be fair, had he like reached up a little bit and grabbed his heart or lungs, it actually would be a wrap. But because he is human, I think. But there's something, you know, he's very strong, obviously in Viltrumian, and so Viltrumise. And so he's pushing through it, but he is literally unraveling his intestines, which I don't know. I've never heard of that in history happening in someone lasting. And so even though through all that very distinct pain that Mark is feeling, I think it's the anger of how close he came to losing before, how close, what happened with Eve, secondly, and then just the anger of like, this is yet another person that he thought he killed, felt some type of guilt over killing, and this motherfucker's still alive. So I get Mark and his concern and his confusion, like, and him being like, all right, I might die doing this, but you're going to die too. With that said, right, it's like one of those like perfect timing things where right after this happens, Nolan and Oliver pull up. Like they're just too late to save him from getting karate chopped in the guts.
He was basically like, there's only 50 of y'all. It's gonna be one less. I'm gonna be damned if it's not one less of y'all.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean dead ass. Like,
which reminded me, You don't know. I know for a fact you don't know about this, but it's one of the funniest things on TV to ever happen. So back in 1994, there was this small wrestling promotion called Smoky Mountain Wrestling. They were pretty, they were pretty good for what they were, and a lot of their stars went on to the WWF and WCW and ECW, including the one I'm about to talk about, New Jack. But New Jack was playing this character on this team called the Gangsters, and this promotion was based in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains. So think about the mountains of Tennessee and Virginia and that whole area. That's where this promotion was. And these two black people there, and they were doing this promo. This is what made me think of it. They're doing this promo, and he's going crazy. He's like, let me tell you about people being strung up in the tree 30 years ago down here. That's why we here beating people's ass. We not holding nothing back. You rednecks are booing us. We don't give a shit about you. Like this whole thing, right? Super wrestling 90s bullshit. Whatever. And so at the end of the promo, this is what he said, Chanel. I actually got the quote because I wanted to make sure I got it right. He said, this is on live TV. I'm telling you right now, okay? What I'm about to say. This is on live TV. He said, also, I would like to send a special shout out to my homeboy, OJ Simpson. Keep up the good work, baby. Two less we got to worry about. It's the funniest thing of all time.
I've actually never heard of that. There's no way you could have told. Yeah, you're right. There's no way I would have known about that. And there's no way you could have told me how this was ending.
So this is the whole quote.
There's no.
I would like to send a special. This is the end of the promo.
crazy.
I would like to send a special shout out to my homeboy OJ Simpson. Keep up the good work, baby. Two less we got to worry about. You understand? Keep up the good work. Louis Farrakhan, he gonna be the next president. Snoop Dogg, we know you innocent. You called me last night. I get you.
Oh no, that was a sex case. Ugh.
No, that was the murder
no, that was
case.
the guns. That was the guns. Murder.
Yeah.
Murder was the charge that they gave me. Wow. Yeah.
Two less we got to worry about. So that's Mark's mentality here. This one less I got to worry about. And like Chanel said, even with his guts laying on the ground, he chokes out Conquest till he dies.
And then I paused. So here's where I paused. So then it went to an ad, and I said, hell no. And I'm going to tell you the truth, I turned it off.
What?
It was too overwhelming. I was upset. I didn't know what was happening. I Googled, does Mark die?
You can't help yourself. You cannot help yourself. You got to spoil yourself.
So here's the thing. I realized, like, okay, if he dies, I'll know it not in the next episode, so I might as well look it up now. Because, like, if he dies in the show, how do I know the show's not different? It could be about Oliver. I don't know. I was like, how do I know? So I looked it up, and then I saw, like, the quick summary. It said what it said, and then I went back, and there was, like, literally a half a scene left, and that was it. And I was like, oh, I could have pushed through. But they did me dirty by putting the ad right before the very last scene.
Mark, that's right, T-Pace Coys. What the fuck? That's exactly what you say to that. Like, why would you do that, Chanel? Why would you spoil yourself on that?
Sorry.
So then, Mark calls for help. Oliver and Nolan show up, and they see Mark landing on the ground, his guts all on the ground and shit, and he's fucked up. And it's the end of the episode. So we're deep into the Vultrimite war.
Well, no, and then what's the girlfriend, the blue girlfriend?
Oh, Alan's girlfriend?
Yeah, the who's commandeered the ship. She's like feeling bad because she left him behind. She left behind Alan. She left behind Nolan, Oliver, Tech Jet, and Mark. And it was all accidental, but it was because when the Vultrimites blew everything up, and she's very, very torn about that because Alan's the love of her life, and they had missed each other before and whatever. And then Homeboy, the main traitor from the Vultrimites, what's his name? Do you remember?
Thaddeus is
like, oh well, gotta crack some eggs, make omelet. Go ahead and head back. Like, he's like, come back to the main planet anyway, because at the end of the day, the war is about to start. It's time to get this. Let's get it started. He's like, will.i.am is here. They're ready to perform. We're gonna do this. It's time to go. So basically, it's time to start the war, because he's like, the Vultrimites are clearly getting ready to attack, and like they're trying to respond. So we need to go ahead and make this official. And like you said, they built a coalition of the willing, and then the post-credit scene. Oh my God, am I forgetting? What was the very last scene? It was the Vultrimites. So the Vultrimites then are waiting. The post-credit was the Vultrimites were on their ship scanning for Alan and TechJet, who hid under the Vultrimite ship. Very smart. And they're like, what? How the hell are we not seeing them? Like, we should be able to scan them. And they're like, well, I don't know, but we're going to have to figure out where they are, because there's no way we're going back to Lee Pace and we don't have an answer. Like, it's not going to work like that. We cannot go back to Empire talking about we don't know where they went. And then we find out again, like, they're still hiding under the ship, and they're like, okay, our plan is wherever they stop, we'll sneak off when they don't see them, because we cannot just float off out of space. They'll see us immediately. And she was like, okay, what if they're going back to Voltrum? And he was like, oh yeah, we dead. We're dead. We're done. We're cooked. We're done. So we're filleted. We're fried. It's not going to work. So that is the end of the episode. And it was an amazing episode that very much ripped me up a little bit, no pun intended, because I watched it actually half and half. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I just had to watch it half and half, but I watched the half before they left, and then I watched the second half later, and it was just like, it was very much a very stressful experience for me watching this and seeing Mark go through that.
So this was the second highest rated episode they've ever done. The highest was season 3's finale, when Mark had to put somebody down, put the black man down. So this was the second highest, and they're gonna have to, I don't know if they're planning on doing, I guess they're gonna do 7 seasons. It kind of has to be 7 seasons, because they're not really close to the end right now, and we're almost through. No,
Didn't they go to rush through some stuff?
There's a lot that happens from here on out, and they're in their season 4, like a whole lot that happens. And so I imagine they're going to have at least 2 more seasons after this one to get going. But the rest of the season will be fun, and I am going to finish Heated Rivalries tonight, most likely.
And what? And real quick, to give, this is for actually, hold on. And pull the name real quick. What's so boring about it so far? High level.
About Heated Rivalries?
Yeah, this is this question's for Davis Aaron. And also, before I forget, for Nolan Rad 69, we did do our Paradise recap. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on the channel. We have a bunch of content right now between all the shows that Brandon is recapping and these shows we're doing together. But we're catching up on all the shows we've been promising for months. But yes, Brandon was texting me like, can you let's do what we've been on, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Don't watch TV.
So Brandon was talking about how the show's boring. He initially had some reactions to Rosenoff, the same ones we all do. But
no, I didn't have reactions to Rosenoff. I had reactions to Shane. What's his name? Shane's mama. She was fucking funny. That was the only good thing in the first 3 episodes.
Okay. True. That was the only good thing in the first 3 episodes?
Nothing happened.
Did you finish the end of episode 3?
Yeah, nothing happened. What, he went to cry with his daddy? Didn't happen yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. I forgot. Okay.
This show, what am I supposed to be shocked by gay men having sex? I've seen that in a movie so much. That doesn't shock me. It's just sex scenes. This show is a bunch of sex scenes and nothing else.
Here's what I would tell you. The first half is an absolute setup to the second half. And at the end of the day, this is a romance story. And that's all I can tell you. So if 4 through 6, 1 through 3, you are on track. 4 through 6, if they don't circle this back around for you, I will officially apologize when we do the recap.
It better, because I was very upset with you. I'm watching this. As much as you talk about this show, I'm watching this first 3 episodes. And I'm like, what the? You make me take time out of my day to watch this?
4 through 6 will confuse you. You'll be like, how did this come out of nowhere? How do I have all these feelings? And I couldn't fit. And everybody who made me watch the show was like, girl, push through. And I was like, this is kind of, and 4 through 6 is where it's at.
Okay. We'll see. I'm gonna
Okay.
hopefully I should be able to finish it tonight. It's my plan. Finish it tonight.
Okay, yeah. Let me know if you drop a tier. What else have you been on? Anything else?
I'm watching For All Mankind, which we're doing reviews on the channel with my homie Javi, which is such a great show. It's just Apple is the best sci-fi streaming that there is. It's just, and it's not even close. And they need to, I mean, they've already kind of leaned into that, but they need to really just, like, people don't watch their other shit. Although my wife, so I had family over, and my wife and sister-in-law
because
watched,
yesterday was Easter egg day.
they watched Imperfect Women, which Chanel asked for us to review, which she hasn't watched a single episode of because she don't support women. But I support the women's shows, and so
you'll catch up to it.
And so we watched Imperfect Women with Kerry Washington the whole season. So maybe Chanel will watch it and we'll do a review on it since she asked for it. And I got caught up on Monarch Legacy of Monsters, which pissing me off the first 3 episodes, which is why I stopped doing reviews for it. But then the last 3 episodes were like, oh, okay, we back. So I might do a season recap of that at the finale for Monarch. And other than that, guess what time it is, Chanel?
Hammer time.
No. 1
Miller
week out.
time.
NBA playoffs.
Hold on, I'm not
the
ready yet.
greatest time of the
NBA
year.
what?
NBA playoffs. The greatest time of the year.
Oh, yeah, because the Pistons are going to take it this year.
Maybe. I don't know. Their best player got a collapsed lung.
It's more likely right now than.
No, your best player has a collapsed lung.
Okay.
He hasn't played in a month.
He's going to be okay.
Maybe if he's back, then yeah, you guys got a chance. But if he's not back,
we've been winning. We've been winning. Cade is out, and we've been winning.
That's not the playoffs. Playoffs is different. If he comes back, you got a chance.
ESPN said he's nearing return. Lord. You know what's so crazy? He's upgraded to doubtful.
Yeah,
he's upgraded to doubtful.
If he's back for the playoffs, you got a good chance.
You would think that, like, medicine is serious or whatever, but sports medicine for professional sports, like, that is millions of dollars worth of like outcome. Like, you are changing the lives and it also kind of doesn't matter at the end of the day, but it does very much matter. So I do think that's like fascinating, people who are helping them. So God bless all the first responders, including Sierra. Speaking of Miller time, including Sierra Miller. Thanks for being a nurse. And anyway, I can't think of anything I've watched. I had like a low key weekend where I didn't watch anything, but I know you know what movie I'm going to go see tomorrow.
Super Mario. Oh, I saw Super Mario Galaxy.
You're being funny.
No, I did.
I'm not going to see damn Super Mario.
Why? You too good for Super Mario?
I didn't see the first one.
Just like you too good for Daredevil?
I don't like Chris Pratt, and I fell behind on. The reason I fell behind on Daredevil is because I didn't want to go through all the Defenders.
You don't have to. Of all the shows,
it feels incomplete.
Particularly you, would love Daredevil. You'd be on here talking, going off. You'd probably write a think piece on your Substack. It'd be all over for Daredevil. Of all people,
Substack.com.
And you're not watching it.
Hey, I didn't say it's impossible. I can just only do one show at a time right now. Yeah, we'll see. I'll revisit it, but so I don't have to have watched Luke Cage or finished Jessica Rabbit or Jessica.
No, you don't even really need to watch all the Daredevils. I mean, it gives you some context, but you really don't need to watch any of that shit.
Oh, Born Again is a whole new thing.
It's tangentially related. They basically said,
is Vincent D'Onofrio still the villain?
Yeah, they basically said some of the stuff that happened in the Netflix. I mean, he's excellent. He's like fucking fantastic. That's why people love the show. Is him part of the reason. They basically said some of the stuff that happened in the Netflix series we're keeping. Some of the stuff that happened in the Netflix series we're not keeping. We're gonna pick and choose what we want to consider canon. Is what they did.
Okay, I'll watch it.
So some of it is considered canon, some of it's not. But you don't really need to watch any of it. It gives you some insight on why they're so mad at each other, like the deepness of the story, but it's not germane to the main story of what's happening. Although, Jessica will be back this season, but even still, you don't have to watch Jessica Jones.
Fucking with her. She got on my nerves. That's her name, Jessica Jones. She got on my nerves a lot. Okay, and the fact that her and Luke Cage make up is just insane. Like
They didn't
I don't
even
even want
do
to
it.
get into the interracial of it.
They didn't even do it. They're married. They should have just been married like they are in the comic books. They're married. They got a kid. That whole shebang.
I'm still on Jessica Jones season 1, where she last I saw, she just told him about his wife.
Yeah. But they're not married in the show. I'm saying in the comic books, they're married. They have a kid. It's the whole thing.
What I'm saying is that the optics of killing his black wife to be his white wife is crazy.
Yeah, but she didn't kill his black wife. She was made to kill his black wife.
Oh, so you're a semantics person.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway,
the whole thing of the purple man controlling her. The whole point of the show. There.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a valuable option.
And they didn't make him purple. By the way, Netflix was pissing me off.
He's supposed to be purple.
He's purple.
Interesting.
He's the purple man. He's actually purple.
That makes sense. I could see that. Anyway, I didn't really love Jessica Jones. I think it was annoying to me. But I will consider jumping back into Born Again. I have no problem doing that. I'm going to go see the drama tomorrow, which I'm very much looking forward to. I know it's not a rom-com. I'm very much looking forward to it. And like when I finally watched The Materialist, I was shocked by how much of it I didn't expect. Like part of the material started to get boring, and then it was a whole different movie than I thought. I was like, okay, cool. So I have very high expectations. Kilgrave was a top tier villain though.
All time great. Kilgrave was excellent.
I didn't love him either.
Just hating.
And that's okay. And diversity, DEI is what this country is founded on. We all have different opinions about our villains, and that matters.
Just hating on
my favorite villains are happen to be black.
He's purple.
Black and native. Black and indigenous.
He's purple.
And of color. Maybe I would have liked him if he was purple.
He's purple.
If he was actually purple, I might have actually appreciated where he's coming from better. No, I mean, I don't know. Villains always confuse me because I'm like, they seem a little bit overdrawn. The only villain, I think probably Penguin had like a very understandable villain, but mostly because he's interesting looking. Penguin had an interesting villain because Penguin himself was like not really a hero. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys know how the drama goes. I literally have not done a movie review in like so long. I just get backed up and I overthink it, and I don't do it when I leave the theater, and then I never do it, and blah blah blah. And I hate recording in front of other people. So long story short is, I'm gonna try to bring y'all one for the drama and just get caught up. Until then, though, that's really it. I'm looking forward to next week's Invincible. We will at some point between now and next week, hopefully, also record our Heated Rivalry recap for the whole season. And again, Paradise is up where it says episode 8, but that is in fact a recap of the entire season. Shout out to them. And I think that's it. Anything else, Brandon?
Nope. Do the outro. Oh, The Boys starts this week. The Boys.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. This week's a crazy.
Doesn't start in June.
No, this is a crazy week for nerds.
We're gonna get backed up, buddy.
This is a crazy week for nerds. I mean, some of the shows you're not watching. The Boys comes out this week, right? Invincible's still out this week. Daredevil episodes this week, which you're not watching. And Darth Maul comes out this week. For nerds, this is like an all-time week for nerds.
Darth Maul was cool. He was hot.
Darth Maul was hot?
He's a zaddy.
I mean, you would like people with horns. That doesn't surprise me.
So with that said, though, I think we might have to make a decision between The Boys and Invincible.
We got time. There's only a couple episodes left of Invincible.
Okay, we'll see, TBD. And so anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you follow us across all social media, especially one where you saw this first. Please don't hesitate to click that subscribe button if you are watching right now, because DTF St. Louis is another show that T-Pace Koi suggested. Child, I'm already too many shows behind, but I will check it out since you said to. I know you can probably expect good things from Jason Bateman. I will give you that. Oh, Brandon, good news. We got 3 subscribers in this video. So that means we are literally waiting for 1 more subscriber before we hit 500. So we might have to do a little celebration by the next time you guys see us. Email us, wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. And it's interesting streaming a little bit early. We got some stragglers. I think we got some different new people. That's cool. Maybe we'll try different times. And we'll try to continue to come to you guys weekly. So in the meantime, if We Was Watching is watching it, then you should be watching it too. Leave us a 5-star review